Good morning, all. I hope all of you are enjoying this live session during this lockdown period, right? So, today I am going to discuss about this event handling. Actually, this event handling already discussed by the Saurabh sir in detail with AWT, right? So, today let me give you just brief about this event handling and how to use this event handling with swing programs, right? And how to do the program of swing with these different events, right? So today we are going to do the programs with event handling in swing, right? So first of all, let me give you the brief about this event handling. So what is event? Actually, event is nothing but a change in the state of the object, right? Now what is object? So whatever component right, are there, suppose button. So right now button is as it is. Now I am clicking on that button, right? I am clicking on that button. So that is the change in the state of the button, right? So event is nothing but the change in the state of the object. So as you know, there are so many types of event like button press, drag mouse, mouse click, item select, so many, right? So whenever you are doing the event handling, at that time there are three components, right? There are three components of event handling. Now, so first one is event. Event is nothing but the change in the state of the object. Second one is event source, right? So event source is nothing but the object which generates the event. Suppose button click, right? So button is the object, button is the event source which generates the event. And third one is the event listener, right? Event listener is nothing but the interface or class which is used to listen that event, right? So this is the basic idea of event handling, right? So how to handle this event? So there are easy three steps, right? You have to follow. First, source generates the event, right? So whatever source is going to generate event, from that source send that event to the listener, right? Particular listener, and that listener after that process that event and return you the response. So source register your event, send it to listener and process that event. These are the basic steps of event handling, right? So this is the simple program. Let me explain you this in detail, right? After that we will do the our program, remaining program of practical list, right? So over here, this is the simple program with event. What I am doing in this program, I am creating just one button, and on that button click I want to print some message. I am again repeating, this is the program in which I am creating the one button, and on click of the button I want to print some message. Simple program, right? Okay. Second thing you need to remember that this import java.awt.event, right? Whenever you are creating the event, whenever you are implementing the event in your program, at that time it is compulsory to import this package, right? Because event listener and classes are available in this package. Import java.awt.event.star. Star means I am including each and every class over here. If you want to import particular class or listener, then write down their name over here, right? So just import java.awt.event.star, right? It is not only a java.awt, it is a sub package java.awt.event, right? And I am importing this awt for layout and javax.swing for swing components, right? So this is the simple program. So this is the first step, import the package which are used to support event and support your component, right? Okay. Now second step, create a class, right? So class, and I am extending the JFrame to create a container which implements the action listener. Now button click is nothing but one action event, right? On click I want to perform something, so that event is known as action event, right? That's why I am implementing the action listener over here, right? So it is depends on your event type. Depends on your event type, is it you have to implement the listener, right? So in this program I am performing the action event, that's why I am implementing the action listener. Now see, this is implements, means action listener is nothing but an interface, right? So second step is create a class which extends your frame or implements the event listener, right? If it is item selected event, then item listener, right? Same way mouse listener, mouse motion listener, it is depends on your event type, right? Over here I am performing the action event, that's why I am implementing action listener. Okay, so I want one button, that's why I am creating one button, and that button object name is click, and label, so label object name is LBL, right? Over here it's EX in constructor, click object equal to new J button, and label of that button is click, right? And I'm creating the label J label. Right now I'm keeping it empty. Why? Because I want to print message on click of the button, right? Whenever I'm going to click the button, at the time I want a message. Right now I don't want to display any message, right? So this is this third step, right? Create a source, whatever source, button, label, text field, whatever, right? So create those components and add those components, fourth step, in your container. And these are the necessary methods that we need to write, right? To set layout, set size, set visible true, set title, right? Whatever method. So now these are the steps. Now next step is you need to register your event with source. Now what is your source? My source is nothing but a button. So click is nothing but, what is click? It is the object of JButton class. So with this object I am registering my event by calling this method add action listener. So now add this action listener with this button. Now what is this? This is nothing but a current class reference, current class object, right? Why I am passing this? Actually, remember one thing, add action listener method having the action listener object as an argument. Action listener object means object of this action listener as argument in this, right? But see, why I am passing this? Because this means current class object, and this current class indirectly refer to this action listener because it is one kind of inheritance, right? So that's why I am passing this. But if you are not implementing action listener and following another way, there are so many way to perform this event handling. This is the simplest way, right? So that's why I'm passing this. If you are implementing the listener over here, at that time whenever you are adding or registering your event with source, at that time pass this. This means object of action listener, right? Okay, now I am going to register my event with button. So whenever I will do click operation, at that time listener automatically call this method action performed. Now see, this action performed is nothing but one abstract method of this interface action listener, right? It is the method of action listener. As you know, this action listener is the interface, so it is compulsory to override the method in this class, right? So I am just overriding that abstract method of action listener in my program. So on button click, whatever operation you want to perform all those operations inside this action performed method, action performed, right? Action performed method having the object of action event as the argument, right? This is the class of action event and E is the object. So this method is used to listen the event whenever event enter is pressed, means whenever you are clicking on the button, right? At the time this method is going to call. So whenever this method is going to call, so on button click I want to set text of the label, right? So whenever I will do click, at the time it is going to call this method, and where, right, and in this method I am setting the text. What is this? LBL. LBL is nothing but my label object. So I am setting the text of this label button is clicked, right? So next step is just register your event and implement action performed or any method of that listener, right? And so implement method to perform whatever operation on that event, right? So whatever operation you want to perform on that event, perform all operation inside this method. Remember, this is not common for all. This is the method of action listener, right? Action event. So these are the simple steps, right? Let me go again. Import the package, then add the listener, means implement the listener, event listener, then create the whatever component you want to add, right? Then add components, then register your event and implement method, whatever operation you want to perform, then write down those operations inside this method, right? So this is the simple program, right? And this is the brief about the event handling, right? So this is just a brief. Now let me move to the program, right? So today we are going to do the two programs, right? So two programs. See, I want output like this. This is your first program with event and with swing. So you need to create two buttons, right? Whenever I click on this button, I want message yes is clicked, and whenever I am going to press no, at that time I want no is pressed or no is clicked, right? Whatever message you want to write, but I want to write some message on click of this button, right? This is your first program, and second program I want like this, right? In this, one label is city name, and this is the combo box drop down list which contains these three city name, right? Jamnagar, Rajkot, Surat. So whatever item I am going to select from this combo box, I want that item name over here in this text field, right? Right now I am selecting Rajkot, so I want Rajkot over here. I am selecting this Surat, then I want Surat in this text field, right? So today we are going to do these two programs, right? And you have to consider these two programs as the last two programs of your practical list, 41 and 42, right? So these two are the very simple swing program with event handling. So let me start NetBeans, right? So open your NetBeans. Now create a new project, Java application. Next, suppose swing event 1. This is my project name. Create a project. Project name is swing event 1, right? Now let me complete this. Okay, so now first thing you have to follow is just public class SE1 extends what? JFrame, right? Extends JFrame. Now what is error over here? So I think all of you know we need to import the package. So import javax dot swing dot start, right? I don't want to import for each and every component again and again. That's why I am writing this start, right? And as we are see now button, so I already explained in this PPT that if button click, if you are clicking on the button, then that event is known as action event, right? So in this program, when I am going to press yes, at that time I want to print some message. Whenever I am going to press on no, click on no, at the time I want some message. So again, these events are nothing but the action event, right? So need to implements, right? It's not implements action listener, right? So now again we need to import package, right? So remember, event classes are inside the java.awt.event package, right? Dot star. So action listener, these interfaces, all event interfaces and classes are inside the java.awt.event class, right? Now again, one error over here. So all of you must know what is error over here, right? What is error? Now implement the abstract methods. So as I told you that implements means action listener is the interface. Then what is condition for interface? If you are implementing any interface, then need to override the all abstract method of this interface, right? So we are going to override that method. Let me show you this. In NetBeans, if you are clicking on this bulb, then this is the method action performed, right? So we are going to override this method of action listener in this class, right? So we'll do this later on, right? First of all, let me start my program. So in this program we need how many buttons? We need 2 buttons, yes and no. And whenever I am going to click yes, at that time I want some message. Whenever I am going to click no, at that time I want one message, right? So that's why we need one empty label, right? So J button, right? Suppose yes and no, there are 2 buttons, and J label L, right? So I want these 3 components. And now in SC1, now inside the constructor, instantiate all this object y equal to new J button. Name of this button is yes, right? And n equal to new J button, and name of this button is no, right? And L equal to new J label, right? Right now I am keeping this empty because on click I am going to set the text of this label, right? Okay. So here this is my first step. I am importing all the package. Second step, I am extending the frame. I am implementing the listener. Third step, I am creating the necessary component whatever I want in this frame, right? Now need to add, right? Need to add all these components. So I am adding the Y, means Y button. I am adding the no, means no button, right? Yes button and no button. So object is Y and N. After that I am adding the label, right? Okay. So I am adding all these components in my frame, right? And as we know, we need some specific methods, right? So as I have created one shortcut JF, right? So JF and tab. So this method is going to come automatically. So set visible true. I am setting this size. Suppose I don't want height too much, so 200. I am setting the location. Suppose this is my action event. Title of this frame is action event and set default close operation. So it is used to close your program whenever I am going to press close operation button, right? Okay, now let me set a layout, right? So set layout, new flow. I am going to set flow layout over here. Whatever layout you want to set, you can. Now flow layout, right? So as you know, we need to import a package, right? So Java, import java.awt.flow layout, right? So this is the simple program, and now I am calling the method, means constructor, se, right? So this is the simple program. See, right now let me comment this. I am not going to implement, I am not going to add any event in this program, right? So let me run this program. So see, on click there is no operations, right? So whenever I am going to press yes, I want some message. Whenever I am going to print click no, then I want some message, right? So that's why we need to implement listener. So implement listener. Second step, register event with your source. So over here our source are yes button and no button. So y dot add action listener, right? And this means current class object indirectly refer to this action listener, right? So this is nothing but the object of action listener, remember. And no dot add action listener, right? This means again I am registering the event with y, and again I am registering event with n, means yes button and no button, right? I want event with these two buttons, right? And this is nothing but the object of this action listener, right? So simple step, right? You can write these methods after this, right? No problem. So just I am registering event, right? So as first of all I am implementing the listener, I am registering the event with source. Now need to perform action, right? So whenever I am going to click on the button, at that time this method is going to call, right? Which method? So public void action performed, right? So this method is going to call by the listener, right? Whenever I am going to click on the button. Now what is argument inside this action performed method? This is action performed, right? So object of action event. You need to remember all these things. So E is nothing but the object of this action event, right? So now whenever you are pressing the Y or N, means yes or no, then this method is going to call, right? So now what I want to do operations whenever I am going to click on the button, right? So you need to write all those operations inside this action performed. So if I am going to press Y, at the time I want to print yes is clicked, and whenever I am going to press no, at the time I want to print message no is clicked, right? So now see, over here we have two source, right? We have two source, yes and no, two buttons, right? So we need to check which source is going to click, right? So for that, first of all we need to get a source, right? So using this object e dot get source, right? Get source. If it is equal to y, means if y is clicked, at the time set text. Which text? Text of this label, right? Right now this is empty, but now if button is clicked, then L dot set text. What text? So I want to print yes is clicked, right? Yes button is clicked, right? So event dot if source is y, then print set text of the label yes is pressed or clicked. And if event dot get source, if it is equal to no, right? If your source is no, means if you are clicking on the no button, then set text of the label is what? No is clicked, right? No clicked, yes clicked, right? So these are the nothing but what I am doing on click operation. This method is going to call. So in this method, if I am clicking the y, means if my source is y, then print this message, and if my source is n, then print this message. So this is the simple program. Just implement the listener, you register event with the source and override the method, and in this method just write operation, whatever operation you want to perform on that event, right? So let me run this program. So yes is clicked, no is clicked, yes is clicked, no is clicked, right? So this is a very simple program, right? So clear all of you, right? So you need to write this program as a program number 41 in your practical list, right? Okay, now let me start with another program, right? So another program is, suppose I have this program, let me run this first, right? What I want is, I want one label, city name. I want one drop down list, right, which contains the name of the city, right? Whatever item I'm going to select from this combo box, I want that item name in this text field. Suppose I am selecting this Surat, then I want Surat in this text field. So this is simple program, right? So create new project, next, then suppose string event 2, right? Finish this. Remove this comment, right? Now what is first step? As we know, import package, right? So now you have practiced which package you want, right? So first of all, import javax.swing.star, right? And as we are doing the event, right? So import which package? java.awt.event.star. Remember this, right? If you are implementing the event, then don't forget to import this package, right? So public class AC2 extends what? JFrame. And okay, so see, in this program I am not performing the click operation, right? In this program, see, again let me run this program. In this program I am selecting the item. I am going to select the item from this combo box. That's why this is not an action event, this is the item event, right? I am selecting the item. That's why over here we are implementing the item listener, right? So in previous program I'm clicking on the button, so button click is the event, action event, right? Over here I am selecting the item, that's why this event we are going to handle using the item listener, items event, item select event, right? So we are going to implement the item listener over here. So as we know, as we are implementing the interface, then need to override the abstract method. So in action event, method is action performed, and in item listener, item event, method is item state change, which contains the object of item event, item state changed, right? So right now let me remove this, right? Okay. So first step, import all the package, extend listener and whatever container you want to extend, right? And implement listener. Third step, add components, means create a component, right? So over here we need 3 components. One is label, second one is combo box, and third one is text box, right? So let me create one label, label L, right? One text field T suppose, and one combo box for C, right? Now create a constructor. Inside this constructor, instantiate all these objects, component objects, right? So new J label, and label is nothing but city name, right? City name, right? Now another thing is text field. So T equal to new J text field. Suppose I want 50, right? Number of columns I want 15, size of that text field, right? Okay. Now in combo box I want 3 city name or 4 city name, means number of items, right? So as we have discussed combo box previously, we need to create one array, right? Array which contains the number of item, right? So over here I am going to create the array for city name. So I am going to create array of string. So string as object, right? As is the variable name, and this bracket is nothing but indicates this is the string array, right? So let me give you the 3 city or 4 city name over here. I'm writing just the 3 city name over here, right? So this is nothing but my string array which contains the 3 string, means 3 city name, right? Now I'm creating my combo box. See, this is the object of J combo box. So J combo box, and I'm going to pass that string array inside this combo box, means combo box having these 3 city name, right? Okay. Now what is next step? Add all these components, right? So in sequence you need to add. So first of all I want label, right? Then I want combo box, and third I want text field, right? So I'm going to add all these component in container in sequence, right? And next step is all these necessary methods, right? So necessary methods are my nothing but these methods. Set visible true, frame size, suppose I'm going to reduce this, right? Then location. Okay, now title I want to set event, item event, right? This is item event, and set default close operation to close running of your program. Okay, so this is the simple step. Right now see, just comment this and Okay, call constructor, don't forget to call constructor, right? So this is the simple program, right, in which okay, I forgot to set layout, right? That's why I'm not able to see the components. So set layout, new, I'm adding new flow layout. I'm setting the flow layout, right? Component one by one. So add the list package java import java.awt.flow layout, right? Now let me run this program. So this is the simple, but see, I am selecting the item but nothing is going to display, right? Because we have not implemented the event yet. So what is next step? We need to implement our item event in this program. So first implements the item listener, right? Then second step, register your event with component. Now with which component we need to register event? So this combo box, right? So c dot add item listener and this. So as you know, we are implementing the item listener. So register, why I am registering event with combo box? Because whenever I am going to select the item from this combo box, at that time I want to perform some operation, right? So c dot register your item event with combo box item listener, right? Now this is nothing but the object of listener, right? So as you know, we are implementing the listener over here, so directly this is going to refer this object of item listener, right? So first step, implement the item listener. Second step, register your item means a listener with source, right? Source is nothing but our combo box, right? And third one is override the method and perform the operation, right? So which method we are going to override? So this is the method public void item state changed, right? And this method contains the object of item event, right? So item state changed contains the object of item event as an argument, right? So whenever I am going to select the item from this combo box, at that time what I want to do? I want to display that item name in this text field, right? So actually what I am doing, I am fetching the item from the combo box. So whatever item I am going to select, I want to store that item in some string. Suppose string s equal to, s is I think already there, string str equal to, right? So combo box, right? From this combo box, get selected item, right? Now C means our combo box. From combo box, get selected item means whatever item I am going to select, right? I want to fetch that item. I need to convert this into the string using the toString method. What this toString will do, whatever item I am going to fetch, this is the in form of object, right? So I am going to convert that thing object into the string object, right? And I am going to store that item inside the str. So now whatever item I am fetching from the combo box is going to store inside this str, right? Now what is the next step? So whatever item I am selecting which is inside this str, so I want to print that item in text box, right? So what is object of a text field, text box? T, text field T dot set text, right? set text str. So whatever item I am going to select from this combo box, I am going to store that item inside this str, and after that I am going to set the field or text field with that item str, right? So this is the simple program in which, let me run this first, in which from this combo box I am selecting the one item, and that item I am printing in this text field, right? Simple. So what we have done in this program, just create label, one combo box and one text field, add all these components in this frame, right? Set title item event. Okay, now register, as we know, over here I am selecting the item, that's why this is the item event, and that's why I implement the item listener, right? Next step, register your event with source. So our source is nothing but combo box, right? And third one, override the method to perform operation. So this is our method item state change. What I am doing, I am just fetching the item from the combo box and storing temporarily inside the str variable, right? After that I am setting text, whatever I am fetching in this text field, right? So this is simple program of item listener. Previous program is of action listener. So this is two programs, one is with action listener event, action event, and second one with item listener item event, right? So you need to remember all these things and consider these two program as the last two program of your practical list, right? Okay, now sometimes you have seen different types of code for this event, right? This is the first way you can write your program like this. This is the simplest way, right? And another way I am going to show you how to write. So that is anonymous way, right? It is like a anonymous inner class, right? Anonymous way. So in anonymous way, see, right now I am commenting this implement item listener, right? What is anonymous way? So whenever I am registering the event with my this source, right, at the time what I am passing the object of the listener, right? And as you know that as this item listener is nothing but the interface, so you can't instantiate this, right? Can't instantiate means you can't write like this item listener. See, so what I am doing, I am just instantiating the item listener, but this is not allowed, but you can do this by using the anonymous way. Anonymous way means what? I am registering the event with the source. I am passing the object of listener which contains the one method. Which method? This. So right now select this method, cut, Control X, right? And what this object is doing, this object is used to call this method, this abstract method, right? So just write down this method inside this or with this object. So what I am doing, inside the action listener, see, this is the round bracket, opening bracket of this action listener, round bracket, right? Inside that I am creating the object of listener, but as you know you can't instantiate the interface, right? That's why whenever I am instantiating this interface, at that time in this bracket I am writing the body of that abstract method, right? So in this curly bracket I am writing the body of that abstract method, which is item state change. This is the end of this method, this curly bracket, right? It is the end of this item listener, and this round bracket is end of this item listener, right? So what I am doing, I am performing everything inside this method. I am passing everything inside this method add as item listener, right? So no need to implement any listener. Directly whenever you are registering your event, at the time directly pass your event to the listener and write a body of the method, abstract method, and write the operation whatever you want to perform on that event. So see, I am passing everything inside this round bracket, means inside this method, right? So this is anonymous way to handle the event, right? So both are valid, both are true, whatever way you like you can write, right? See, right? So by using this way you can write your event program, and by using this way, this is also valid, right? So these two are the program, swing program with event, right? First one is with action listener and second one is with item listener. So first in first program I am going to represent this way to implement event, and in second program I am going to use this way to implement a event, right, in my program. So both are valid, right? So consider these two programs as last two program of your practical list, right? And I am going to upload these two program in your content, so don't worry about this, right? So okay, so I am resting my session over here. Thank you so much for listening me, and stay safe and stay at home and do your work properly, right? Thank you very much.